Hey guys, it's Christina with Read.Pray.Disney again. Thank you for joining me for today's video. As if you're watching this series in order, it's the next day, obviously. Just got tired last night, so couldn't record anymore. However, for this particular video, we're going to talk about pen storage. Now, if this is the first one you're watching, the previous videos, and I'll put a link to them in a description box below, but the previous videos, we're talking about tips for beginner pen traders from a beginner. So go back and check it out. We've talked about the difference between scrappers and fantasies and OEs and LEs and LRs and so forth. So go back and check those other videos out. And then, yeah, here we are today. So today we're talking about storage and how to store your pens. You will see many different ways of the way people store their pens or display their pens. There are, for me personally, I put my pens on boards, and I'll show you my boards in just a little bit. Because let's be honest, that's the only reason why you're here, right? To see my pens. But to begin with, in my previous videos, you guys saw these little cork boards. These I got off of Amazon, and there's quite a few of them. I think the back package came with, I want to say like 10 each in a package, and it's pretty cheap on Amazon. So for displaying pens, I particularly prefer to use cork boards. However, I like them with a little style. But cork boards and hanging them on your walls are one way to display pens. Some people, and I'll show you my daughter's pens too, because she has these, and a few of them we painted and we made pretty, and then she put all her pens on there. So it's a cute little project to do with kids. Other people, you may have seen this in one of my previous videos. This is my lanyard. I'm gonna take my teacher ID off. This is my teacher lanyard. So this is what I wear to work. Gosh, I can't get it right. This is what I wear to work every day. Some people prefer to put their pens on lanyards. See, like when you go to the parks, a lot of people have their pen trading pins on their lanyard. Okay. There we go. I have a button on here too, as I'm a Star Trek fan. So lanyards are a good way to kind of store your pens. I've seen other videos where people have their lanyards and they just roll them up and keep them in a backpack. And then when they're ready to go to the parks, they take them out. I personally feel that if I'm going to spend money on pens and the money that I have spent on pens, I want to display them as art. So I put them on boards. Another way, and you've seen this before, this is a pen, okay, this is a pen folio show. Okay, this little book. These are those other pens. Anyway, this is a pen folio show. These booklets come in different sizes. So you have this show piece. This is the show part. And there's like this tough, it's not cork. It's a hard rubbery type of material that holds pens in. So like they're not falling out. They hold pens in. This, and then it opens up this way. Okay. See, it's this material that's on the front cover. But again, they're not falling out. Okay. And then it has a back little pocket. And here I've kept just some business cards or backer cards and so forth from people that I've bought pens from. But a lot of people store their pens in pen books, and they just have stacks of books sitting in their house and so forth. Again, this is my trader book. So this is where when I'm ready to trade, I take pictures of my book and I post them online in my different Facebook groups, and I trade from here. So this is just my trader book. I haven't been able to pen trade in the parks since the pandemic and so forth. So I don't know if I would take this booklet into the park, like leave it in my backpack. I'm not sure. I might just take a few pens out, put them in a little baggie, because they're my traders, put them in a little baggie, and then take that to the park. Because I will say that in the Florida sun, for me personally, in the Florida sun, wearing this heavy lanyard with all these pens on it, as much as I would love to display them and show them, it gets too hot for this. So, but a lot of people do that. Me personally, I think I probably would just take some off and put them in a bag. So now I'm going to show you my pen boards, and I have 4 pen. Well, I personally have 3 pen boards. My husband has 1, and my daughter has a few of these. So I'm going to take you around and let's take a look at the pen boards and how I display them. Okay, guys, so here's our first pen board. Now this pen board I made myself, so excuse the craziness that it looks. But this was a cork board, and it has like a wood border. Let me see if I can see that. Yeah. So this is just a basic cork board that I found at Walmart. And this particular board, I took a black t-shirt, I cut it up, and I glued the black t-shirt down to make the background black, so it doesn't stand out, the cork doesn't stand out. So this is the first one that I had when I first started collecting pins, and my original thought was, hey, so when I do this, I will only fill up this one board. And as you will see in a minute, it spiraled out of control. But this is part of my Beauty and the Beast collection. These are my castle friends, as I like to call them. So these are my castle friends. They don't fit on my main Beauty and the Beast board. So you see I have like a couple missing here that I need to find. And this is what I was talking about earlier. I could have bought this entire set by itself because it's an older set and I didn't jump in on a pin game until later, but I didn't. I like to find these, be it through live pin sales on Instagram or through eBay or so forth. I like to hunt to find what I'm missing. So right now I'm missing 2 out of this set. I did some pin trades for the 2 that are remaining out of this set. This set, it came in a big package, but I bought so it came in a package, but there are 2 mystery pins, or chasers, so to speak, that are missing out of this set that I'm still on the hunt for, okay? This one was a complete set, but they came in 2s, 2s or 3s or something like that. Let's see, here you go. That's one of my pin boards, okay? So with this particular one, there is just a hodgepodge of pins, but you're gonna see on my other pin boards where I have a little more focus. There's a focus point to my board. But for right now, let's go take a look at the other ones. All right, guys, so this is board number 2, okay? This is just a regular standard cork board from Walmart. I believe I paid like, I want to say it's between 10 and 12 bucks. I didn't pay that. I was very surprised. I didn't pay that much for it. So again, I like to display my pins. The difference with this particular board, this was my, where my Beauty and the Beast board and my Castle Friends, they're very specific. And you'll see the Beauty and the Beast in a minute. This board is just a hodgepodge of minor collections, okay, and things that I really, really love. So you'll see that there are some sets that are not completed. For example, these sets I haven't finished finding. With the help of my mom, we're scouring and looking for them because they're older mystery pins. I talked about these in a previous video, the unboxing of these 2. Again, they're older pins. This set I want to complete, and this set I do want to complete. Up here are my teacher pins. These pins, I've been teaching since 2010. And so if you see there, they say Teacher's Day 2020, Teacher's Day 2019, and then back to school. There's quite a few back to school. And I think I want to say he moves. Yeah, he does move. I just can't make him move right now. Anywho, and this one is not actually a teacher pin, but I love it anyway, so it's going to sit in that set and the little nerdy ones. And then of course my Harry Potter Universal pins. It's just I didn't have anywhere else to put them. But this particular board, so the thing about cork board is when you display pins on a cork board and you decide to move them around, you leave these pin holes behind. This doesn't necessarily bother me too much, but over time it will bother me, and it will, because they'll start peeling off. Anyone that's ever worked with bulletin boards and so forth, especially in the classroom, you know, you get these little chunks that peel off. So you want to be careful of that if you're going to use a cork board. At some point, I'm going to cover this one with fabric as well. I just haven't done that yet. And see, there's my Mrs. Jumbo collection. This is a fantasy pen because the real one was just too expensive, and so I settled for this one. So I'm in the middle of rearranging this particular board. My plan is to take the castle and move it down with its corresponding princesses as they come out. I am missing the Mulan one. I didn't buy it at the time, so I'll have to go back and get the Mulan one. But somehow or another, I'll get these castles to fit on this board and put their princesses with them. But either way, as you can see the collection, they're pins that I like, pins that I love. I don't complete every set that I come across, unless I really, really want to, and that's okay. A little Fantasia pins. there's more to this set and there's more to this set. I don't feel the urge to get them all. Okay. So here are these. Here's a quick little overview. Okay. If you guys know, there's more to this one, this set. I don't feel the need to get them all. There's more to this set. There's one more of these. I don't want to get them. So, you know, it's your choice. You collect what you want to collect, okay? So let's take a look at my Beauty and the Beast board. Okay, next is this one. Now I'm gonna try to hold the camera steady, and I'm so sorry if I'm shaking. This is my Beauty and the Beast. Gosh, she's gorgeous. She's big. You see that? She was handmade. The pin board itself was handmade by my stepfather. So it's a solid wood, and it has a cork backing with a crushed velvet covering the cork. Okay, it's gorgeous. So this is my Beauty and the Beast board. This is where I said those pins from the other Castle Friends don't fit on this board. This is only Belle and Beast. Okay, so on this particular board, if you see, I have a focus point. My focus point are these, is really her. This one is my focus point. But then when I got her, oh, she's gorgeous. So, and this is an Artland pin. Remember we talked about those in the other pin video. This is an Artland pin. This is an Artland pin. This one's an Artland pin. This one is gorgeous. This is an Artland pin. This one is an Artland pin. And I love, let me get a closer up on that one. You see that? How it's Belle. And what I love about this one is when you get closer, you see the book in her hand. And it looks like a little painting. Like, I would love to own that painting. Okay. So again, this isn't necessarily going over the entire, all the pins in the set, but this is just an overview of the board. And with this particular board, again, I have a focus point. I love the back background as opposed to the cork, because the cork is fun, it's nice, but you see the difference with the back, with the black. Okay, the pins pop a little more. There you go. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you another one of a kind, and this is one of a kind. He's only made one. I'll show you another one of a kind pin board in just a moment. All right, and next, this is my other, well, this one's mostly my husband's. This one is our Star Wars, or my husband's Star Wars pin board, with a little other random stuff here and there. But if you see the Millennium Falcon, the person who made, my stepdad who made this, he hand cut. I don't know if you can see, this is a solid wood. He hand cut and hand painted the Millennium Falcon to give this 3D effect. So he created this entire board out of wood pieces and so forth with cork backing, but then there is a cloth set here. And what's beautiful about this is, one, he put our constellations into the background, so it's just gorgeous. But this is my husband's pin board, and the focus on his board is, and they're small, they're tiny, but my husband loves the Muppets, and we often joke that he is Kermit and I'm Miss Piggy. So we have our Kermit and Miss Piggy, and it's fitting that they are Star Wars as well. But see here his Star Wars pins with a little bit of just random odds and ends, like Indiana Jones. We're Texas fans, well, we're Texans. So Texas UT there. But something I wanted to point out to you guys, where is it? This one. Remember we talked about scrappers. I'm fairly sure this pin is a scrapper because his coloring is off, but it's a well done pin. Let's see, let me show you. It's a well done pin. It has the pin trading thing on there, but it's not really the greatest. I just feel like this pin is a scrapper. Usually Disney, when they do this logo, this pin trading logo right here, this is an older pin, but this is very unclear. You can barely see that. So I'm fairly certain this is a scrapper pin, but it doesn't matter because we like it. So it's on our board, and my husband puts it on his backpack when we go to the parks. So, get that back in there. Okay. So there you go. He's not a Stitch fan, but he's a Star Wars fan. That's why we have a few of the Stitch ones in here. Okay. And I love this one. This one does it's not on. Here we go. Look at this little guy. He pops out at the top. There he is. He pops out at the top. I mean, when you get into pins, you'll understand that there are so many that kind of suit your personality and your taste and so forth. So again, custom pin board is another way to go when you're looking about storing or displaying. Like I said, the point for me is if I'm going to get pins, I like to display them as little pieces of artwork because that's generally what they are. Okay, so let's go take a look at my daughter's. All right, and here are my daughter's pins. So remember I told you guys those little cork things. So we did a little project over when it was during the pandemic, and little art project, and we just painted some of these cork things, and I let her, she did finger painting on them. Those little dots are all her little fingerprints. And so she has a hodgepodge of just random pins that she likes, some that she took from me. But again, these are just, you know, there's a couple of scrappers in her set, but that's okay, and that's a button. This is a button right there, and this one's a button. But there are a couple of scrappers that are in her set, and that's completely fine because the point is she loves them. So the value of them is what we place on these pins. So for her set, this is what she has. And another way to display them in an art form. And have fun with your kids with putting the pin sets or pin displays together. Stop, baby.
That's a pin.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
I'm saying this is one more. Now this one, you know, has a little hole. And that's the thing about cork. Sometimes you get the holes and so forth. So that's why we tend to try to, I like the black background because you don't see them. Oh, you're gonna put your other pin on there? Okay. Thank you. See, and then there's hers. Now those waffle and pancake Mickeys, those are scrappers. And again, there are fake pins. Well, they're not real Disney pins, but that's okay. The one that has the $100 bills, that's a scrapper. But she loves them, so why not keep them? All right, guys, so you saw our collection. Thank you for watching with me and going through everything that we have. So just a few points to remember. If you're going to get started into the pin game, it's a pin game. If you're going to get started into the pin business or you know, collecting and trading and so forth, if you're looking at displaying your pins, think about how you want to display them. Some, like I said, it is perfectly fine. People keep them in books, and then they just like a regular photo album, they flip through and look at their memories, and then they put it away. That's completely fine. For me, I think of pins as little pieces of art. They bring me joy and happiness every time I get to see them and look at them. And I've even, to the point of, brought in my mom, my brothers. We all like to look at the pins and kind of talk about the pins and touch the pins, rearrange the pins. It's a great pastime to, hey, you know what, let's see how we can rearrange this pin board. My daughter loves it, you know, messing with them and looking at them. So pins are a living thing, you know, for me and mine, and and Disney is a living thing in our house. If you haven't really caught on to that, Disney is constantly on our mind, and pins help connect me. I feel like they help connect me back to the joy and fun of the parks when I'm not physically there. We don't live in Florida, we don't live in California, so we don't have that opportunity to go whenever we want to. So we still live and breathe through other things, and pins help us do that. They're a small memento. I don't collect anything else. I don't have big plushes or do ear collections and things like that. So my collection is a little more fun in the pin, looking at pins and so forth. So when you're looking at putting up boards, remember, the big thing is to focus your collection, okay? Make sure you have a focal point, something that draws your eye to the board, and then spread out your collection. Like I said, I'm still rearranging my cork one with my princess castles and all the random stuff, so I still have to work through. I haven't found an aesthetic that I really, really love yet, so, but that's part of the fun, is being able to sit down and play and move them. That's part of the fun for me, okay? So ultimately, pins, I think, are a great time, a fun time for me and my family, my parents, my brothers, my husband. Well, my husband sometimes, but my daughter, we enjoy them. So all the custom boards that you saw today were made by my stepdad. Hey, Luis, shout out to him. If you are interested, I'm going to put a picture up of a stitch board that he has already completed. It's ready to ship, of a stitch pin board, hand done, just like our Star Wars board. The stitches he's custom cut, custom painted, one of a kind. So if you're interested or have inquiries about pin boards, just, you know, leave a comment below. I'll add my information into the description box so you can reach out to me. But until then, look out for our next pin video where we just talk about where to buy pins and some kind of the pitfalls to look out for. Okay? Talk to you guys soon. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye, guys.